All right, I'm going to get started. Hi, everyone. My name is Stephanie, and I'm an Enterprise Customer Success Manager with Jotform. Thank you all for joining me today in another installment of our Lunch and Learn series. Today, we'll be reviewing visual reports using Jotform tables, embeddable reports, and digest emails to automate reporting. Before we dive in, I wanted to let you know that the enterprise server we're working in today is not HIPAA enabled. While reports can absolutely be used with a HIPAA compliant server, there may be some additional processes and setup involved in order to fully take advantage of these features. If you have any specific questions regarding HIPAA compliance, please contact our support team for further assistance. As per usual, we're going to be covering a lot in this video, so it will be recorded, and we'll reserve some time towards the end of the presentation for questions. As I mentioned earlier, today we'll be reviewing the various types of reports, including visual reports, digest emails, and other embeddable reports. After reviewing some of the basics around each type of report, we'll take a look at a few use cases and how each report type can be used to enhance the experience for users and admins. The first one I'm going to show is setting up a visual report in Jotform tables. Going to start with a default visual report. Here's the submission table where we'll be adding a new tab to create the report. I'm going to click on Reports, Next, select the form where I'll be creating the report. And for this demo, I'm going to be using a compact report. By default, each page will have about 1 to 2 questions on it. One of the cool options with the visual report is that you can search and filter it. Take this filter off. So I can search by one of the names of the submitters and automatically filter to her name. Or I can filter on one of the fields, say costumes includes 2. See that here. I just had someone say they're not seeing my screen. Hold on. Marketing, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it okay.
Okay. Sorry, Amber. Hopefully it shows up in the recording after this. She's coming on, coming back in. Okay, perfect. All right. So yeah, you can search and filter the report based pretty much any field in the form and search on any name or piece of information. Here is a more customized version of the report just to show you what kinds of things you can do with it. So I took the costumes field. I click on the gear icon, go back to general. I switched it to this line chart type, and that allowed me to see a little graphic of each of the costumes. Although you can use any of these other chart types. I also changed the background color to dark purple. If I X out of this and click the paintbrush icon, that's an option in the style. And I took out the bottom slide, the thank you page. Oh, also, you can change this color. That was the style down here, background color to gray. And you can do that for any of these charts. One thing that comes up often is if you have more options in the list here than are showing in the visual report, you can come over to the data tab. This was by default set at 9, so I upped it to 10, and then you can click show all. And that allowed me to show all 9 of them instead of just 8. And if you sort it alphabetically, it will sort from 1 to 9. Default, it's a little bit out of order. If you change this visual report to public, you can share it with anybody. And another benefit of the visual report is it automatically updates each time you open it. So as you get new submissions coming through, they will be added to this. And you might need to make sure that this options limit is set to all of the options that you have available on the chart. A good use for the visual report is possibly sharing it with stakeholders. We also have a client in the healthcare space that uses it to demonstrate their client's return on investment by displaying how many patients would have gone to urgent care and how many would have gone to the emergency room based on patient-reported data. And that data represents cost savings for their shareholders. They also use the data for net promoter scores. The next thing I'm going to show is Embedable Reports. So these are all of the report options. The ones that are available in an iframe are the HTML table listing, the grid listing, and the calendar listing. Create a report. The first one I have here is the HTML table listing. You have the option to display a photo instead of a link and show the edit URLs. Here is the iframe code that you can embed onto your website and also a report link. Here is an example where I have the report link embedded onto a Jotform. I used an iframe widget and just put that report link in here. And you can sort by submission date, numerically by costumes, alphabetically by first name and last name, and email. Here is how I embedded it in the iframe. I just took that report link and put it in the iframe URL here and just clicked Update Widget. This is our grid listing report. With this one, you can display a photo instead of a link, images in a modal window, and you can auto-fit the grid report to a window. This is the iframe code for the grid and the report link. And here's an example of the grid embedded in a Jotform. So this is handy because you can search for submissions. You can refresh the screen to clear that out. Oops, a little bit slow. And if you have multiple pages of submissions, you can flip between them here. Next, we have the calendar listing report. This one has a little bit more limited options. You can use the submission date and then pick one of the fields on the form to show in the report. Here's the link and the iframe code. And this is what that looks like if you embed it with the iframe widget in a Jotform. So this is cool because you can switch between each month. The next one over is the year. And all of mine are the same submission date. So if I click this, it will show me all of the submissions in different colors. So these reports can be useful if you have maybe sales reps filling in forms or field agents. And when they go in to fill the form out, they can see what's already been submitted. The CSV and Excel reports can also be embedded into a form with the iframe widget, but there isn't an iframe code generated for those reports. The next item I'm going to show is the daily digest reports. So these are cool. You can set these up either through My Forms, My Reports, or the email tab of the form builder. I use the My Forms page to set this one up. With daily digest reports, you can have an updated report of submissions for up to 5 forms sent out either daily, weekly, or monthly to multiple recipients. You can choose the time zone, and the day to start. The next section of the daily digest is the design options. So in the first portion here, the welcome section, you can turn any of these bits on and off. You can even delete this altogether. Then in the overview section, you can uncheck any of these to customize it. I don't have any questions that can use a chart, but you can have up to 3 charts in the daily digest. And then the submissions, you can pick up to 5 fields that you want to show in the body of the email out of any of the fields on your form. just have 3 here, but I'll add a couple more. And you can change the submission title to whatever's most convenient. After customizing the Daily Digest email, you have the option to test it. And I have one here. This is what it looks like when it's sent through to you or your colleagues. And also, after you have it set up, if you need to change the frequency, you can go back in and edit it and change it to, daily, monthly, or weekly, depending on what your team needs. So some use cases for the Daily Digest email are if you have a weekly standing meeting, it can be used as the agenda for the meeting. We have a client who uses it for campaign reporting. Since it's sent out automatically, users don't need to constantly check Google Sheets for updates. We also have a client that uses it for daily summaries of incoming tickets to triage requests as they come in. Oop. All right. So we've covered a lot in today's session. As you can see, reports are a useful feature that enables you to take your forms to the next level, whether it be displaying collected scores on an intake form, showing information through charts and graphs in a visual report, or updating reviewers and colleagues of new submissions through the Daily Digest email. I encourage you to take what we've discussed today and apply it to your own system to see how you can further improve the efficiency of your process. And if you have any questions, feel free to type them into the chat or the QA if you haven't already. One question that we've gotten a few times is, can different sets of field answers be compared in the visual report? And the answer is no for that one. Let's see, I have a couple of questions in here. Amber uses them frequently. Will there ever be an option for an end date? Oops, sorry. Let's go back in here. We'll pull the options up again real quick. That's a good question. You can open up that as a support request, but I will look into it because I think you would just have to delete the report to end it. And you can go in and delete any reports that you have set up. A little trash can here. How do I get the Daily Digest set up? So either from the My Forms page, the email page, or the tables, just click on the form, click Reports, add a new report, Daily Digest, select your recipient, your subject, your date settings, click Next. You can have up to 5 forms in here. And after you have this all customized, you can just click Create Digest, and then you're all set. Cool. Marketing, do we have any other questions?
It's all clear from the YouTube side.
Okay, great. Just thank you, Amber. I'm glad you're using the Daily Digest email and it's helping you out. All right, so thanks everyone for being here today with me. Our next session is Wednesday, July 24th, and Lauren will be back discussing more tips and tricks about widgets. Ooh, go back to this page here. If you have any questions that we didn't get to today, please reach out to our enterprise sales team or our awesome customer support team if you're already an enterprise user. You can find more Lunch and Learns, webinars, walkthrough, and a quick video guides on our YouTube channel on our website. We'll have some great Lunch and Learn sessions coming up that will build on each other, so please ensure that you're registered for these at jotform.com/enterprise/Lunch and Learn sessions. Looking forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.